Skyward collapsed. Yeah, I played it already, but that was like 10 years ago or something. Let me check. Was that really 10 years ago? Probably. 7. 7 years ago. I think I got it probably very soon after release. And it completely dropped off my radar until I stumbled across it while sorting through my Discovery Marathon library, you know? So, yeah. Let's see if it's still good. Skyward collapsed. Today was my first day at my new job as the creator. Needless to say, the application process was interesting. You! Me? Yeah, you're the creator now. Okay. Application done. Here are some of the people I work with. And here are some of the non-people I work with. Boom! People, creatures, gods, and the very land itself. I have power over them all. Bam, you live here now. And you worship this guy. So. Well, mostly. What I mean is, for some reason, the people of Luminith were given free will. I need you guys to make bacon, which makes my job incredibly frustrating. No can do, big guy. We are vegetarian. Is that so? So sometimes I have to get persuasive. Problem solved. I wish the humans would listen, but they never do. They honor different gods, they eat strange foods, and worst of all, they wear blue. Other than that, not listening, you know what their favorite pastime is? Red is the color of blood. Blood comes from fighting, and fighting is bad, therefore red is evil. Red must fall. Blue is the color of the sky's abyss. Red is different. You dare insult our faction? Die! It goes on. It's a cool comic. It's clever and fun, but it's a bit small for the stream. So, welcome to Luminith. Your job as the creator. I wonder if there's a setting for. The user interface size, because it's very small. Lower resolution on purpose, right? Just so you can read stuff. Your job as the creator is to achieve balance. Red and blue will try to obliterate each other, and you must find a way for them both to thrive without either side getting wiped out. This tutorial will guide you through one way to set up your world, but this is far from the only way to do so. Follow the instructions at the top of your screen to progress. If you want to reread the full instructions for your current step, however, hover your cursor over the one-liner at the top of the screen. Top of the screen is a bit of a covered up. There we go. Later on in the game, the part of the screen will warn you of upcoming events called woes that you will need to prepare for. You can hover over those too. Okay, every game you play starts with a brief setup round during which everything you place will be free of charge, but once the Age of Man, the start of the actual game, begins, placement of buildings and actions will cost resources. This is where your infantry units are created, the barracks. Once you place the barracks, you will be able to hover over the building and see what other buildings and resources are required to make the various units. Building more than one of these will increase your military production, as long as you have enough of the appropriate resources. Yeah, more barracks, more military, if you can pay for it. To place a tile, click the bar on the left, click the tile you want to place, and then click on the map. A field, easy to traverse, no special modifiers. A mountain, normally impassable to all units except flying units and units with a mountain crosser ability, also blocks line of sight. Grassy ruin. The first 2 human units to come explore these ruins will gain a random stat bonus. Can be picked up 2 more times. So you see the remaining pickups. So the Norse town of Thun and the Greek town center of Donoda. So you see they both have resources, right? Sheep, pigs. I think they've got the same starting resources. 2015-20. Detailed report. God tokens, mythology, direct actions, land tiles, other buildings, resource producer buildings, military buildings, barracks. Norse barracks. Costs 2 lumber. During setup though, it's free. So this is our military building for the Vikings. I think if I... Oh, let's start here. The pig farm produces pigs. A raw resource. Pigs are used to make bacon. A finished good that is essential for barracks troops. Building multiple pig farms gets you more pigs faster, but for now only build 1. All raw resources are stored globally for each faction. So if they are produced in one town, they can be used in all towns of the same faction. So each faction can have multiple towns. Pig farm. Here. Two lumber, 1 wheat, but currently it's free. Well, needs to be next to land. Okay. The butcher automatically turns pigs into bacon whenever you need bacon, in whatever quantities you happen to need at the time. In other words, a single finished goods producer always provides you any amount of the goods you need anytime you need them, presuming they have the raw resources required. The butcher's tooltip shows you how many pigs you need in order to make 1 unit of bacon. The only limit to how much bacon a butcher can make is how many pigs you have in your stockpile. So, as far as tutorials go, this is the wordiest one I have seen ever outside of a board game. But it's sort of necessary to go through it slowly, because otherwise you will not understand what the hell is going on in this game, because this game does a lot of things different from what you would assume. Each town needs its own butcher if you want that town to be able to use bacon. That's good. This lets you control units, which units can be produced on a town-by-town basis. More on that later. So, pigs, global. Butcher, local. That said, the left sidebar contains direct actions you can take that also require finished goods. Placing tiles, placing creatures, placing tokens. Those direct actions are considered not to be town-specific, so you can use the services of any of the faction's finished goods producers on the map. The last 2 notes might seem a bit overwhelming, apologies, but you don't have to memorize them. The game will always tell you if you're in need of a certain building before you can take an action. Yeah, but, so, each town needs its own butcher, if you want that town to be able to use bacon. Okay. This here has actions that require finished goods, like drop a pig. Or placing tiles. Tokens. God tokens. They are not town specific. So you can use the services of any of the faction's finished goods on the map. So if the Greek produce sheep and the Norse produce pigs, if I understand this correctly, I can drop pigs and sheep wherever the hell I want. At least as long as one of them produces either. 4 pigs per turn. Okay, let's build a butcher. Resource producer. The butcher. Produces meat on demand for the town it is located in, presuming there are enough resources at the time. So diagonal does not count, and he needs to be close to the piggies. Iron is used for everything. More iron per turn if you have multiple ones. Globally stored, can be used in all towns of the same faction. Right hand side shows you most of the resources. There's a lot of them. Now we want an iron mine. Over here. So a smithy uses iron to build weapons. Lumber and iron to make a battle axe. So it needs more than one type of resource, and one smithy is enough for a town. It will handle the town's needs, not the other town's needs. There's the smithy. Build that here. Place a light elf. These can be found in the mythology section. There. Light elf. Light elves cause allied units to heal faster, in addition to tearing through the enemy human military. Mythological units are different from human units. Human units are produced automatically via buildings like barracks, as you've already seen, but mythological units can be placed anywhere on the map anytime you feel like it, because you're God, right? You're the creator. Provided you have the resources, of course. Nothing alters the course of a battle, like a minotaur dropping into the midst of things, or the sudden appearance of adamantine. Every mythological unit and token has a unique ability explained in their tooltip. Healing, auto-heal, costs, the soul imprint, incense, and pottery. Your Salfar in the Old Norse. Historically, these were actually considered to be minor gods in most senses. Any allied humans within 3 spaces of a light elf on a given turn have their auto-heal doubled for that turn. Cannot pick up bonuses, like the Ruin. I think most mythological, if not all of them. Some of them can pick up bonuses. Okay, I was about to say they can't, but they can. It's actually a super bad idea to place a mythological unit this early in the game, but we're going to make you do it anyway. Just so you see how it works. Usually you would place these in reaction to some imbalance in the battles. Placing them when there isn't already an imbalance will cause an imbalance. So now we've got a light elf and pigs. Logs are used by the carpenter to make lumber and are one of the key core resources for your economy. You can build most buildings without lumber, and so you can't build most buildings without lumber and cut stone. Okay, so we need a woodcutter and someone who mines the rock. But a woodcutter is necessary for the quarry to be built. Missing woodcutter, but this is the woodcutter. Excuse me? Now we're supposed to build a carpenter. Cut stone from the stonemason is equally important, but building a rock quarry and a stonemason will have to wait until turn 1 since you're running low on remaining action points. 2. Each town only needs 1 carpenter in order for the units produced there to be able to use lumber. Each faction only needs 1 carpenter, period, in order to support your direct actions. Finished goods producers. That's contrary to what they said earlier. Earlier they said that each town needs a butcher. Not each faction. So, at this point, your barracks still can't produce any units. However, each unit type requires only one more building in order for it to be produced. Each type only one more. That's not really making sense. You can control which type of units will be produced in this town based on which further buildings you place. That is extremely useful, since the unit mix coming from a town can be important in battle. Each unit is strong against different enemy units. That's a bit like a rock, paper, scissors system. The ability to indirectly control which units are being produced is non-trivial. I feel like the translation is Borky. Bork. In this case, let's build a brewery so that we'll start seeing some berserks when the Age of Man starts. Because that makes a lot of sense. A brewery. Where's that? Yeah. Next to the barracks. I like that. Okay, setup's done and turn. Spend all of the 9 blue action points. Alright, now it's time to do the setup for the blue faction. This time I have to do it on my own. Their mythological units and tokens are different. They have different costs, so you have to design them differently. The light elf will might make quite a mess if we don't place a Greek mythological creature. The enemy is in balance. The goal of the game is not that one wins. The goal of the game is that they don't eradicate each other. You want them to survive. So you have to balance out what they do. Otherwise, this would be a very boring game. Or a very early version of auto chess or whatever the crap people call that type of game these days. Don't use Cerberus to counter the elf because he does move and thus she can't go right around him. She can go right around him. The sides are not equal in strength. The Norse have a much weaker human military but generally stronger mythological creatures. Now might be a good time to save your game. Yeah. After we've given you a semi-decent tutorial. Like this. Patience wearing thin. So let's see, the blue faction. What do they have? The Centaur. Minotaur. Heavy hitter that does half power splash damage. Let's give them a Centaur. New. They also want a woodcutter. And the barracks. Here. Okay, so to create. So if you mouse over the barracks, you see that if you want to create Zyphos units, you need pig farm, butcher, iron mine, carpenter, smithy, and brewery. If you don't have that, you will not produce them. The Prodromos, which is a cavalry unit, needs a deer park, a ranch, a butcher, and a pig farm. Okay. I want them to build peltasts. So we need a pig farm and a butcher. An iron mine, a carpenter, a smithy. And a well, I think. And then they can start producing peltasts. Yeah, the idea is super awesome. The playing needs a bit of playing. I think you just need to play it a few times and figure out a few things. And then you can go at it with a plan. But I have to say, it is a bit like Populous. When I first played Populous, I was like, what's this? Okay, I'm going to try this. And then someone drowned. And then I did something else. And then suddenly I had a huge building. And I didn't really understand the half of it. But it was still super fun to just mess around with it. And I think if you mess around with this for a bit, you get into it quite quickly. Despite the fact that you have all these different resources. Because, for example, if you mouse over the Greek barracks, right, you get this window that tells you, okay, currently only the Peltist can be built. The others need a ranch, a deer park, and a brewery, so I can't produce them here. The Vikings, they will produce berserkers, and if I give them a well, they will also have huskarls. If I give them a deer park, I will also get marauders. So I will have to see what they do when they meet each other, and if one side pushes the other too quickly. Which is usually when you drop a mythological creature on one side or the other to just balance it out. And then your score goes up. And I think the longer you can balance it, the better. But that's not necessarily all you can do in this game. There are probably things they could have done different. Like, I mean, it's hard. Imagine you do this with less text. How do you do it? Do you animate or show it? Considering how old this game is, watching videos as tutorials back then was not super popular. It started to get popular back then. Okay, so now we can start. Once the game starts, you'll start having to deal with the factions fighting one another. Yellow bandits, an extra annoying thing, and woes. There. That was Monkey Island indeed. 2013 was already very much the age of... I can look that up on the internet. For the sake of the tutorial, we're going to skip the woes during the Age of Man, but we're going to make you deal with more bandits than usual instead. Why? Right? They let us read four pages of text only to skip something that will later on confuse us? Not a good idea. Really not a good idea. I'm not sure if they make a second tutorial after you finish the first one, like advanced. I don't know. We will see. Survive the first turn. Now it's time to see the first bit of combat. Units move and attack using action points. Each movement usually takes one action point unless they are crossing rough terrain. If you mouse over the terrain, you see a hill. Units that are standing on a hill get 50% attack bonus. Hills take twice as many action points to cross. So 2. Units can overspend their action points. If a unit is down to 1, but is within attack range, they can still launch an attack that costs 3. They'll start their next turn with full action points, no problem. See, I have to read this 4 times now to understand what they want to tell me. Overspend. What they want to say is, if you have at least 1 action point, you can do any action you want that costs 1 action point or more. Is that what they want to say? We'll take that as... Yeah, okay. We nod. This first bit of combat isn't going to go smoothly. The two mythological creatures on the board are not evenly matched. You may need to place some extra barracks on both sides in order to balance things out in the coming turns. Don't stress about your buildings taking a bit of damage, but this is something to observe and react to. Some obscure stuff, blah blah blah. Battle sites are left on each tile where some fighting took place during a turn. You can hover over those to see the details of what exactly happened. The last turn report is important. We'll see that as soon as the turn is done. Okay, red has 3 actions now. Am I supposed to do something now? I didn't spend any of the extra points on both sides. Oh no! The centaur! Cheat! Now you had your first taste of combat. I think that's not how it was supposed to go. Where you place the creatures mattered because of the way action points work. A ranged unit that has to walk a long way before firing off shots will be less effective. It's okay that you didn't know this before, but now you see the effect of this. I'm starting to get grumpy with the... No! No, no, no! The goal is that both survive. Oldest units get to move first. That's important. Reloading gets different results. Now I have 6 actions, so I saved up my actions apparently. Yeah, they don't tell me the important stuff. That's a pity. That's a pity. So, new tiles arrived, right? They just came up, Skyward, and then the battlefield changes. And you have to react to that every time. Not enough resources. What do I need for the barracks? More cut stone. Yeah, well, we don't have a stone cutter, so we'll probably not ever get any stone, right? Needs a quarry. Now, if we build a well, for that we need cut stone a lot. Archery. Against the centaur we might need that. Sheep farm, wheat farm, bakery. Or a deer park, which we need for... so longbowman's the plan. Sheep farm, Fletcher, deer park. Where's the deer park? Here. Needs more lumber. Okay, so that will take a bit. So I'm trying to see if I can save actions. You can undo tile placement up to 5. Okay. And the red turn, and now we're controlling blue. Blue is pretty powerful. They have powerful ranged units, and I think the Norse can only counter that with a lot of military. What we don't know is if the bandits will happen too close to the red faction. It would be nice if the bandits would attack the Greek faction currently, because they are too strong. And however confusing the first bit might have been, now you get it, right? Like, that happened, and oh crap. Now, how do I react to that? How do you react to that? And does it work out? It's definitely going to be interesting. We don't want to leave the Greek hanging completely, though. Maybe... Smithy needs iron and lumber. It could produce mutton from a sheep farm. This is all locked for later. Oh dear. And clay. You can build schools. All barracks, archery, range, and siege workshop units produced in this town will come out as level 2. That's an option to react to the enemy being too powerful, right? You can also produce tiles if you want. So he cannot go straight. He needs to go either this or that way. Just in case they put mountains here. I think the tiles popping up and where they pop up is completely random, but I don't actually know. Mountain crosser, right? So you can't block him with mountains. And he's got a range of 5. So my longbowmen have a range of 7. That means the longbowmen, in theory, if they are not getting slaughtered by the enemy's units, can counter the centaur. And you have to sort of think about this like chess, but not chess. You know what I mean? It's not about the placement, but it's about countering the abilities and then hoping that the setup of the map allows for your plan to work. And then you look into each town's tech tree and see what they do, and on top of that you react to bandits and later on woes, and you can further interact with god tokens and temporary effects and all those shenanigans. You can smite them. I could smite the centaur probably. You can level up humans or mythological creatures. You can drop resources. Armageddon. So this is like a half reversed god game. I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, and that makes it very, very unique as it stands. So he chose to go that way. And now he's going to attack. He's already in range. There goes our berserker. Will probably not be quick enough to counter the enemy. Free upgrade. This is definitely unique. Okay. Destroy any single building tile that you control or any land tile. Now that's not going to help. It's super thinky and very, very difficult. But the premise is cool. Using the brain! That's why it fits today's theme so good. I don't yet understand how the production turns before next unit 4. Why so many? More barracks, they said. More barracks, more production of units. Turns before next unit 0. Deer Park still missing. Can't afford it now. Crap. 20 out of 11 available. Do they mean the other way around? Yeah, the high risk balancing is probably rarely working out, is it? Yeah, it's not exactly working how they wanted, I think. But as far as game concepts go and showing what's possible, this is really a good one to show. And it might be just nice to fool around in it for a bit. I don't know. If you find it for a €5 and don't know what to spend your time on for an evening, it could be fun enough. I'll just skip the Greek turn. Berserker. It's probably gonna get shot. Oh, he was shooting the buildings. That was a mistake. But they decided to... yeah, okay. Don't let either side use all its town centers. Because then you lose. First bandit keep arrives at turn 10. Buildings leave a smoking ruin when they die. Yeah, the translation doesn't really help. Can be removed. They can't be removed or built over. But can't you destroy it then with smite? They are stumbling over themselves while trying to explain what they want to do in the game and what you as a player are supposed to try out. I'm gonna upgrade the Berserker. What kind of movement range does he have? Movement range is action points. 1, 2, 3. That's 4 action points. Now it's a level 3. How much does it attack for? Costs 3 action points per attack, but if I read their weird attack earlier correctly, he's going to deal 600 damage to the peltist, who oddly enough is level 4 already. Okay, I can't use it more. Oh, level 4 is the maximum, maybe. Oh dear. I've got 9 logs. I need 20 lumber. And they turned this around. It doesn't say the correct... Yeah, it doesn't matter. We know what they mean. I've got 2 archery buildings. On demand creates half... 1 lumber from half a log. So if you build a second carpenter... But then I don't have enough room to build the deer thingy. Let's try to do this sniper thingy. Aha! Doesn't work? Oh, you can only have 1 per town. Okay. It's so slow with the resources. Let's skip the Greek one. Now that we lost our pigs. The older unit was going first. That was the problem now. Can I smite that? No. Okay. So they killed the centaur for me because I couldn't have salvaged that. And now we fought against the Greek unit successfully with a lot of help. And now I'm going to end the Norse turn and see how they go with their barracks here. Turns before the next unit 1. Let's build them a brewery. Can't afford it because we need more cut stone. So they get a quarry and a mason. They've got 7 more actions, huh? And siege units. Now Berserker is gonna go in Berserk. You can lose the tutorial. Yeah, thank you for that. Build plenty of siege units on both sides. See, they talk about things that are not ever going to happen for a first-time player after this crappy tutorial. And I think they should have split it into multiple parts. I think, like, Port Royal did it. Port Royal 4 had one of the best working tutorials I've seen in a long time. Very straightforward, simple, not simple, small bites. So this is trading. Now we apply trading. So this is controlling the ship. So now we control the ship. And this is this. And we do it. Showing, doing, showing, doing, showing, doing. And then widen the perspective. And of course it helped a bit that was narrated, but this is just... They wanted very much. You know, you've got 8 actions, you have got barely any resources, but you're supposed to play with plenty of siege units, more exotic stuff, defense towers, rock, and... And I think that's where I got confused at first. But if you actually play the game, it's just, you know, you sort of panic when stuff happens that you didn't plan for, and then you try to get around it, and then you see how it plays out, and then you try it again. I think the tutorial is bad still. It's probably worse on stream. And it's not something that you just apply because it's badly written and has mistakes in it. But yeah, you might have a point. Ooh, counter. So he can't move on the turn he was built? Or is he going to move on his turn? He's probably going to move on his turn. We will see. Now. Hold the unit first. Win. The deer park. Everybody wants a deer park. And a brewery. Yeah, okay. The Trojan horse. So they get their deer park. Ranch or brewery, are they possible? Yes. Okay, now we have a new unit type. Needs more horses. So 4 units of horse need to be produced before we can have a cavalry. Whoops. Okay, so now a smelter. Right. The Oxy Belly has no counterattack, but it's a siege unit. And we still need a brewery. Needs more cut stone. Okay. Yeah, I honestly didn't remember that the tutorial was just a lot of text. And the thing is, for the discovery streams, sometimes a tutorial works perfectly fine to just play through it. If it's just read through it, it's sort of problematic. Because I might as well go for the break screen, read it, and then tell you about it. But this way, at least you could see some of the things that happen. Okay. Oh, the bandits arrived directly in front. The berserker is distracted. Now they have something to do. That's good luck for me because the Greek faction was hanging behind a bit. But now they have a siege weapon. It should be able to attack the bandit fort also. And if we can build a brewery now. Too far. Oh, for the red faction, no. You don't get a brewery. Oh, more cut stone. It takes so long for them to make it. Yeah. What's the bandit doing? I mean, I could take away one of the barracks probably on the barbarians. Oh, bad choice. Let's see if I can smite the barracks. they slow down the production a bit. Yeah, casinos would work. What, 3, but for the brewery need 10 or something? Yeah, okay. A field mechanic. No, go for the field mechanic. Way more dangerous. I could try to counter this with a mythological creature now. Because these guys will wreck the town, I think, if I don't do anything. Oh no! What would I need? Creation cost. Incense. Ah, okay. All red and blue food style costs temporarily disappear. Grants the first 5 non-banded humans to claim it a 3 times attack bonus. Yeah, okay. These things are mad. Minotaur boost. Okay, so I can't just drop it. Okay, let's try to speed things up with another barracks. Oh, a siege drill. Okay. It's a bit like an experimental sandboxy type of game, and I think what they wanted to achieve is actually really something they missed. You can't get the player too far away from the action, and I think they achieved that a bit. You don't want them to fight, actually. They might just stop in the middle and have a campfire and a chat. That would be awesome. And you can save up action points, which is nice, but it has a limit, I think. So leveling the Berserker up to 4 was maybe a big mistake. But the Bandit Fort saved me a lot of trouble. You'll have a ranged attack. Soon. Don't be sorry, scripter. Not sure if it's going to buy me enough time. So why did it decide to not use its ranged attack? Oh, the Peltas is not a ranged fighter. Is it not? Or maybe I should have boosted it. I thought it was a ranged fighter. It wasn't. It was only the Centaur that was a ranged fighter. All the time. Plonk. And the music they've chosen is really not helping their cause, is it? Now we've got 6 cut stone. Oh, I could have dropped horses. Horses! Could have done that. Yeah, it's just I was not really realizing it till now. Sorry about that. Like elevator music. Maybe that was the problem all along. Okay, let's see. What could we? I think it said in general, siege weapons don't attack units. Unless the unit is on a building. And the brewery is still out of the question because reasons. Can I create more cut stone with more masons? No. You have to plan ahead quite far, I think. So, again, they survived it. Cubed attack defense bonus. Auto heal. So they picked up bonuses now from the ruins as a reward, which is bad since they are already winning. I've got very distracting siege weapons though. And I can try the silly leveling up. Not enough resources. Ah, okay. Leveling them up costs stuff. 16 bacon, 8 steel, so we don't want to do that. Alright. Makes sense. He goes for the siege weapon. Him as well. But since he's not a silly level 4 unit, we have some time. Yeah, go for it. You can do it. Damage, damage. 9 stone. That's not gonna help us much. I could try. Let's see. No, that's not gonna help. This play is a bit confusing. Why it says 1 horse is placed now instead of that's how many you can place or something like that. Now let's just see. Second horsey. They really like to destroy siege weapons, which is good for me. No, not the horse. So they attack the building first. That means the unit is protected in the building, if I look at it the other way around. Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. And now I know I could already sort of start to anticipate that in the end the horses will win the fight. And start reacting to that by building stuff here that counters the horses. For example, a longbow archer. And that will completely ruin things. Which might be fun. Yeah. Hey Chris, welcome back. Oh, time's up. Why did you attack that one now, you idiot? How are you gonna die? That's not why I promoted you. That's 1 Viking down. And now we have this turn and this turn. It costs 12 bacon and 4 horses. Mutton. Oh, no problem, Chris. You're absolutely welcome. That does remind me, I wanted to do another giveaway. I'm going to do it after we finish this one, before we finish the next one. I want to see how this plays out now. More bandits! No! But yeah, I think this game can only be good with some experience. How, you know, how the units react and what they do and whatnot. Now the level 4 Viking is still at large. And now the Marauder and the 2 Longbowmen are gonna go for... probably the Stronghold? No. Wow, that Marauder has some action points. Yeah, the Marauder has 10 action points. So he can move across the map. Chris, I hope you will enjoy Hyperlight Drifter. Damn. So in the end, we lost the barracks, but we defeated the level 4 Viking that I just built to defend against a few units. So it would have been enough to level the Berserker up to 2. And the fact that I leveled it up to 4 put the Greek units in big trouble. Now they are in big trouble because I created 2 Longbowmen. It's just like... It's slow turn-based chaos, and it happens on more levels than in Populous. So it has a lot of cool stuff going for it, but the presentation seriously lacks a dynamic that pulls you in. It's a very chill, very tough game, and it's kind of hard to get into it. When you win, I think there's a turn limit. Need a good controller. Yay, good controller. Okay. So, for those that were interested in this game, you can probably pick this up on sale for $5. And if you like these types of shenanigans, it's certainly cool. If you happen to have it in your library by accident, from a bundle or something like that, give it a try. Give it a try. Just maybe through the tutorial without anybody watching.